Hello and welcome to The Red Menace. We're a comedy news podcast bringing you the stories and hits and places and new... Sydney in Indonesia, my name's Chris Bolson.
Hi, I'm Alison Hoare.
It's later at night, so I'm sleepy, hence why I can't talk good.
It's 7:04 here and it's 10:04 there.
I've turned 25, so I am now an old man, and I do now go to bed at 10 o'clock most nights.
Yeah, me too. I am firmly in bed by that time. But for me, I'm running on the opposite kind of energy. Well, I'm also tired, but I just haven't eaten since lunchtime.
Oh, okay, so we're going to have that real manic,
yeah,
distraught energy.
So some kind of like lethargic stuff happening here.
Nice.
But that's okay. That's all right. We can work through it. At the end of this recording, I'll get some dinner, however long it takes the delivery people to deliver it.
A year.
And then you can go to sleep.
I'm psyched. So you and I have both been, of late, enjoying what is probably the best Facebook group ever made.
Oh, yeah, for sure the best.
I can't think of anything that comes even close, but some of you might have seen this promoted on the interwebs. It's sort of gone viral a little bit. But it's called A Group Where We All Pretend to Be Boomers. And I'm just gonna... It
is possibly the best thing that's ever been brought onto the internet in general, I would say, not just on Facebook.
I think we can all comfortably say that Facebook is bad and the people who created it should feel bad. But this tips the scales a little bit in the other direction, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it kind of makes me not hate Facebook so much.
I'll just give you an example of some of the content that this is... So the concept behind this, obviously, is that it's sort of the same kind of content that your weird aunt posts to her Facebook feed.
Absolutely.
So one person has posted a looking for recommendations map, and it says, "Where are the gifts, please? Thank you. God bless," in all capitals.
This is a group that I've just seen. It's a woman dancing with like a TikTok filter on or something, and it says, "Amen. The satanic demo rats would never share. Share this post if you are on the side of Christ. Christians share only. So brave to say this during a time where Christians are hated."
Someone told me last week that if you write your password on Facebook, that Facebook will block your password, so others can't see it. Password one. It's so consistently delightful.
Lots of people like posting really good selfies on here as well, which do involve a lot of chin and a lot of like sunglasses and sitting in car seats, which I think very accurately encapsulates the boomer profile picture aesthetic quite well.
Fuck, I found the best one. So there's a link to parade.com, the article called Dolly Parton's Chicken and Dumplings. And the comment is, "Jesus would have eaten this, amen."
Oh, this is wonderful. What a good group.
Everybody, please apply to join a group where we all pretend to be boomers. And you have to stay, when you comment, as Alison has started doing voraciously, you have to stay in character the entire time. It's critically important.
Yeah. And you can have multiple different characters, though. You don't have to stick to one. You know, if you want to switch around the boomer persona that you're putting on, go right ahead.
The most recent one
I just saw a good one. It's this is their first post in the page for any kind of reference, and this was 11 minutes ago as of recording, and it's using the lovely balloons background, and it just says, "I passed a kidney stone today." And the comments for this, someone's posted a GIF, like with confetti saying, "Congratulations."
All of the old people in our audience might not understand this quite as much, but this is genuinely the funniest shit I've seen in my entire fucking life. Oh. I'm going to be disappointed
the
by
old people
all
in our
stand-up
audience,
comedy
I would
between
hope,
now
are
and my
like-
death.
I would
Sorry.
hope that, like, the old people in our like audience are savvy enough to probably understand the humor in this, and
God, I
also
hope
they
so.
probably knows people who post on Facebook like this.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people who post weird live streams of their ears and other things, as if they're trying to like talk on the phone with someone.
I think our ultimate message is, old people, please use Facebook more, because for young people, we have a lot of issues with you and all of the many things you've done, but bringing us this little sliver of light and hope of internet dipshittery, I think starts to really tip the scales in a better direction. So please do it
Yeah,
more.
I think it's starting to, like, maybe build a bridge between two demographics that have historically been quite at odds with each other. But
If we build a
really
bridge
getting
using
into the
spelling
mindset
errors,
of the
it's gonna
people
be
who-
such-
you know those, like, really specific t-shirts? Someone's posted a picture of one and said, saw this t-shirt and had to get it, so me. Who else can relate? And this is what the t-shirt says. I'm a Christian woman born in June who stands for the anthem, drinks white wine, honours our president, loves her cocker spaniel, and supports the troops.
It's a very long list of things.
It's wonderful.
I think if you just do one of them, you're allowed to buy the shirt.
Yeah, I think so too.
And as a Christian woman who supports the troops, I think I feel comfortable wearing it.
I'm going to get out of this group in a second because there's another one from a new member. This is their debut post, and it's got a purple cat background, and it says, I have 3, full stop, months to live.
Oh, Jesus. Do you
I'm getting out of this group before I just absolutely
we're just-
get...
Otherwise, this is going to be the whole episode. And whilst
The whole
one day
episode
I'm
will be
sure-
us just
That's-
reciting content from this.
I think we have to make our own content at a certain point. Do you have a story for me, Alison?
Sure. Can I start with one from I suppose from Asia, from the continent that I'm in at this moment?
Yeah, please do.
It's actually not at all from Indonesia or anywhere near there. It's from Japan. And this is actually from a couple of weeks ago. But I still feel like it's good kind of content for us to talk about. And we don't often get into talking about sports on here. But I think it's a kind of demographic, the sports fans are people that we need to reach out to.
That's true. We really need to just sort of outstretch our arms to the jocks and grab them by their big, muscly hands. And then
Just
they
so,
can
you
listen to
know,
our podcast.
every kind of person feels welcome listening to this podcast. You know, losers and now jocks.
All of the kinds of people, yeah.
Yeah, all of the people that I just listed, we want them to feel comfortable listening to this podcast. So this is actually from Reuters, which that's how it's pronounced. I double-checked.
Raiders,
mate. Reuters. And this is from Jack Tarrant and Yoko Kono. And it says, blood, sweat, but no tears in Japan's office chair Grand Prix. Or Grand Prix, I suppose.
This sounds dope right off the bat.
It is very dope right off the bat. And there's a picture here, which I will describe to you. There's a lot of people wearing cycling gear and cycling helmets because safety first, riding their office chairs down the street.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, this is my kind of sport, Chris.
How did I not know about this? I would destroy in this. I am infamous in my office for not getting up ever because I just push myself around. Oh, I need a document from the printer. Vroom! I'm going to slide over there and collect it.
Yeah, it is a really, really good thing to be able to do. And you know what? When I was in my old office before, my job closed down in Australia and I came here. Anyway, in that office, I didn't have a rolly chair. So frankly, I think that job wasn't worth having.
No, you did it for far longer than you should have, just based on that alone.
yeah, I had to suffer through at least 2 years of no rolly chair, and I feel like that's a good reason to get out of the country.
I'm sitting
but
on a rolly
unfortunate-
chair in my home right now because, like, this is my home office, if we want to call it that. If I'm being honest, it's just a desk in my bedroom. But, like, it's the office.
Well, that's
the
more
office
of an
nook.
office than I have at this point in time. Which, by the way, for those of you who are just tuning in, is me sitting on the floor of my guest house using my bedside table as the microphone stand. So this is the kind of setup that I'm going on. So I would die for a rolly chair right now. Maybe that's why I'm so excited by this content.
Wait up, I'm gonna do a 360. Whee! Oh fuck!
I'm sure that looked really cool.
No, I bumped into the table, and I'm confident it made loud microphone noises.
Well, you probably shouldn't have pointed that out, because otherwise people just imagine it looks really cool. Like all these cool kids in Tokyo look. So it says, in Hanyu, Japan, the rattle of tiny plastic wheels echoed through the normally sleepy streets of Hanyu on Sunday morning, as the small city, 60 kilometers north of Tokyo, played host to the Japan office chair Isu Grand Prix. Or Grand Prix. Fuck Grand Prix. I hate that word, Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
I'm going to say Grand Prix from now on. Just because
Grand.
I'll pronounce...
I think if we didn't call our podcast The Red Menace, I think Grand Prix would be a really good potential
It's probably a
name.
good description of what people think of us. Those Grand Prix.
Like, there are a couple of pricks, but tell you what, they can be real
They are
grand.
Grand Prix.
They are grand.
Founded 10 years ago and inspired by Formula One and Le Mans endurance racing, the race sees teams of 3 battle it out on ordinary office furniture across 2 grueling hours to see who can complete the most laps of the 200-metre course. Propelling the chair backwards was the universal tactic employed by the racers, who were at least spared the added constriction of business stress with competitors choosing their own outfits.
Fuck yes! This is the best shit I've ever heard.
This is great. And you know what's really exciting? You know how the Olympics is going to Tokyo in 2020? I feel like there's a good chance that we'll be able to see office chair racing in the Olympics.
Can you imagine, like, what... You know how sometimes in car races, God forbid, there will be a big old car crash and or pile up. And I think that,
yeah, I want to see the office chair pile up.
Yeah, can you imagine... The problem with the car pile up, in my opinion, is that there's all of these nasty cars between the human bodies. So the human bodies can't pile up in a way that I think is just really aesthetically pleasing.
In a way that's really humorous.
Yeah, but if you've got just 3 office chairs, that's like... They just get right out of the way the moment you fall off it, and you can just start to entangle yourself with your compatriots, and then roll around on the ground like the nasty road-rashed boys and girls that you've become.
And I feel like there's a lot less chance of dying in an office chair collision, which instantly makes it more funny.
Oh, you underestimate how fast I can go in an office chair, Alice. I think there's a very high risk of dying.
I think I
really.
really want to see this. I really want to see your really competitive office chair skills. And I think the best thing for you to do then would be to enter the Tokyo 2020 Olympics as the office chair competitor for Australia.
New movie coming from Pixar Studios. You've seen Cars. You've seen Cars 2. You've seen Planes. That happened. Now, get ready for office chairs. That's right, they're sentient office chairs, and it's the exact same plot as Cars, except instead of cars, they're office chairs. And that's the whole bit. I thought that would have more joke to it.
Well, let's continue the story.
Wait, I just quickly want to say, quickly before we continue, I'm sorry, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I feel like the risk is, from an endurance perspective, is not going to be of the person tiring out, but of the chair's wheels degrading to such an extent on the tarmac.
Well, if you go, I don't know how, like, flat and well-designed, Japanese road surfaces are, but if it's anything like a Sydney road surface, there's going to be a lot of stones that just immediately block the wheels.
Well, if it's a really authentic office setting, it should be carpeted.
I don't think it is, though. It's a street race.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that I think they should carpet the street just for the race and then remove the carpeting when they're done.
Well, that would be a good idea, I think. Looking at the photo, the road does look very smooth.
Okay.
And I'm impressed with the smoothness of Japanese roads, but also maybe they just did that for the event. I don't know.
If you're going to smoothen the roads, I think you may as well just put down carpet on the streets. And I know it'll get real nasty when the cars start to drive
carpet
over it,
roads. Just, that's what I want to see from now on. It's like, you know, in The Sims, how sometimes, you know, all the carpet textures look ugly. So you put gravel inside your house because you want like a black carpet, but none of the carpets are black.
Yeah.
And The Sims don't care about the texture. Let's just implement that in real life as well.
If it was a carpeted road, and especially given that people are riding around in office chairs in suits and ties, I assume, and like no cover, how fucking
they
rank
could
would
wear
it be
suits
if
and
it
ties
rained?
if they want. It would be quite gross, but it will add to the aesthetic, I think. So it says the series, which started with a race in Kyoto in 2009, was the brainchild of Tsuyoshi Tahara and will feature at 10 different Grand Prix events across Japan this year. The origin of this race came to my head when I saw a tricycle endurance race, Tahara explained to Reuters. Eventually I created the race, which we can hold on a street, 3 persons per team for 2 hours of endurance. I wanted to create something no one has made before. Tahara, you've certainly done that.
I love that he decided not to do like an office chair sprint, which is what I would have decided to do. But he decided that he wanted like
race.
a fucking Formula One endurance race.
Yeah. I mean, a sprint, anyone could do the office chair sprint. You just need like a particularly good push-off and like a smooth surface to roll along. But an endurance race, Chris, that's another kettle of fish entirely.
That takes finesse. It takes thick calf muscles. Like, it's just... It requires such a level of skill and determination that the average human being can't even dare to comprehend.
Now, this is also a really good part because people bring their own chairs to the race. The chairs aren't supplied. So it says the winning team, Kitsugawa Unyu, came from Kyoto and so had also travelled several hours with their chairs for the race. Their reward was
you could get like that Ferrari co-sponsorship in like the big race. What if we got the IKEA sponsorship? And I got the souped-up nitrous IKEA that would push me real fast.
That would be... I think that would be quite unfair for everyone else.
Fast and Furious 10 office chairs.
Now, I like this part because this is quite a dark point, I think.
Oh.
It says, one of the guys, he says, I was tricked into doing the race, said 45-year-old Satoru Taguchi, who formed a team with other fathers from his children's school. My body is badly sore. So how did someone trick him into doing this race? What did he think he was going to be doing?
But at the same time, your body it better be badly sore after the amount of work that you should have put in at this prestigious event.
Yeah, like I would hope that you're not just shooing it in because that would be a joke. That would be bringing disrepute to the sport of office chair racing.
And if you need someone to sub, I mean, like, just you know where to find me.
Yeah. And this bit is quite wholesome, though. This is right at the end. It says, Mayu Nagishi, who had just enough energy left to dance at the closing ceremony, said the support of the crowd had helped greatly. So many people cheered for us every time we passed and came round the corners, said the 18-year-old. We were very touched. They are our fans and supporters. Like, well,
That's nice.
This sport has fans and supporters who come out and cheer on the office chair races. I just like everything about this.
I think more sports could be improved by the addition of office chairs. And
I think so too.
I mean, there's the obvious ones like, you know, your rugbies and all that. Like, the big old tackles are going to be way more fun if there's office chairs in the mix.
Oh, absolutely.
But can I suggest golf? Because golf on its own...
Golf is... You have to stand up for a long amount of time.
And I would find golf much more palatable if you could sit down and roll around the whole time.
But you'd have to roll around on the grass, which I think would add like another level of challenge to the sport.
Exactly. And if you get the golf ball in the drink, as they call it in the biz, Oh, that's going to be a real issue.
It's in the sand bunker and you need to go in the sand on the office chair. I think that would be quite... I've just thought of another sport, though, thinking about sand on the office chairs.
Yep.
Now, it's like surfing, except you have to sit on the surfboard on the office chair.
On the office chair? I'm very into that. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Can I...
Without the chair rolling off into the water.
So it's a triple balancing act, and that's
Yeah,
you have to balance
exactly.
on the office chair, on the surfboard, on the water. That's very you need
It's
a real
very
gymnastic
challenging.
core.
Absolutely.
Can I pose another one, which is office chair triathlon, running, swimming, cycling? So running, I
How
think
does the cycling work?
running self-explanatory. Swimming
Sure.
is a challenge. You have to functionally be like a mermaid using the office chair as a tail and getting most of your propulsion from your arms. So,
Or you can it's you just get a floaty on the bottom of your office chair and you have to kick along in the water.
no, Alison.
Okay.
The office chair it's weighted. That is the whole challenge.
It seems a little bit dangerous, if I'm honest.
Well, yeah, but that's why you need to make your arm muscles very big and strong and your leg muscles very tiny and light so that your back half can stay afloat. And
Well, the balancing it out.
Because your bottom half needs to be
yeah.
all office chair weighted.
I see how this works now.
And then bicycle, I think we all know how that's going to work. It's just going to be a normal bicycle, but you're sitting on an office chair on top of it with stilts.
But the stilts have to be made from things you would find in an office. So you can, tape cardboard boxes to your feet or something.
It's made of 12 staplers sticky taped together.
But you're not allowed to use a meter ruler because that's cheating.
No,
So
that's
it has
cheating.
You can use 30-centimeter rulers and tape them together if you wish, but you can't use a ruler.
Staplers are
ruler.
actually highly recommended because if you slam into another competitor, it also works as an offensive tool.
Yeah, well, I highly recommend it depending on the league. In some leagues, that's not allowed. That's
No,
not
but-
acceptable.
I mean, this is obviously, we're talking street office chair triathlon, which
Yeah,
is
sure.
the dark Yakuza
Yeah,
office chair
this is for
triathlons.
this is for the people who eat Nutri-Grains for breakfast. You know, the people who are hardcore. None of your cornflake wusses or, rice bubble wusses.
Exactly. I just finished being on jury duty, and some of my fellow jurors were talking about their breakfast cereals, and one of them was talking about how she didn't have enough iron in her diet, and I was just like, why don't you eat more Nutri-Grain then? That's the
That's
only
the
way to
Iron
get
Man
iron.
food.
Only man food is Nutri-Grain for big, strong boys.
Congratulations on finishing on your jury, by the way.
Oh, I finished 2 days ago.
Congratulations. Jury rations. That was supposed to be the pun there, but it didn't come across.
It didn't
quite
work
like
at all.
that.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, I sent 2 people to prison. It was great fun. I'll tell you about it off the air. But
Yeah, off the air.
so, because I'm allowed to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it to our whole audience. It seems inappropriate, or at the very least,
Yeah,
insensitive.
sure.
And also, I might get murdered. So,
Yeah, well, that's not ideal.
no.
They
given that
they
we've
do
got-
play our our podcast aloud in prisons. But we should probably move on to a new story.
Yes, we've got
Since
a
we've been
solid
talking for 20
of content
minutes out of
this.
office chair.
Seeing as that was a story from Asia, can I give you a story from Taiwan?
Sure, while we're in the region.
Exactly. So give me one moment to open in the browser. So this story is from nextshark.com.
Next Shark. That's a very cool website name.
It is a very cool website. This is written by a man named Brian Key, or K-E.
Sure.
Man buys coffee at 7-Eleven every day because he's crushing on the cashier, gets diabetes.
It's really the best headline I've ever heard.
Right? It's got so much information in it, and it's all necessary.
Every word of that is magical. Every word in that tells a story. I don't even, that's the story there, isn't it?
Exactly. No, there's some more details that make it really delightful.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the more details.
The unidentified man shared his story on a popular Taiwanese forum, Dcard, on Monday. According to World of Buzz, the man titled his post saying, "When we are chasing after a girl, us guys need to depend on our perseverance to get the girl." Which, I mean, not awesome, but we'll continue.
Yeah, sure, let's get into it.
His infatuation started 2 years ago when he first saw the 7-Eleven employee nearby branch. This story's not very well written.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll just assume English is not their first language.
That would make sense. Determined to get her attention and to make sure that she would remember him, the man decided to make his coffee order more special by requesting 5 spoonfuls of sugar in his coffee.
What? That's a lot of sugar, Chris.
It's a considerable amount of sugar.
Oh dear, that's not great.
Surprised by his request, the woman asked, "Wouldn't this be too sweet?" The man then replied, "Not as sweet as you."
Oh, fuck off. I'd put like 10 sugars in just for that, because it's really obnoxious.
The line surprisingly worked as the woman gave him a smile. From that moment on, he kept coming back to the 7-Eleven branch to buy the coffee with the same amount of sugar from the woman. However, things took a turn for the worse as the man revealed his last sentence. 2 years later, I got diabetes. What I fucking love about this, not only is the well-deserved ending, but the idea that this dude did this for 2 years with no results, and yet he persisted on drinking his shit coffee.
He drank shit, but you didn't even have to drink it. He was just trying to get our attention by buying it. He could have bought it and then, like, tipped it out or something. 7-Eleven coffee is not expensive.
No, Alison, you've got to commit to the bit if you're going to have this kind of ruse. So he
stands there in front of the counter and drinks it and is like...
in front of her every single time.
Great coffee.
Then afterwards says, "Do you love me yet?" And she says, "Not yet. Come back tomorrow." And it proceeds as per usual.
Not yet. Because, when you work in customer service, you can't say, "Fuck off, you're a creepy weirdo." You just have to smile and go, "Ha ha ha. Yeah." So the smile he probably gave her was out of sheer... The smile that she was giving him was probably out of sheer uncomfortableness.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%.
It was a smile that, if you sort of look through it, means restraining order.
If you look through it, means I'm not getting paid nearly enough to deal with this shit.
No.
But I need a job.
And there's not really much more to the story, but... I'm interested in what other... Obviously, you shouldn't try to date people at their place of employment. That's fucked.
No, that's just... Please don't do that.
If you tried to apply this technique to other jobs, like, say, a bartender, you would get into trouble very, very quickly.
Because, yeah, probably.
I guess with a bartender, the obvious one would be to just be like, "Give me an absinthe" or something, and then you smash back one of those for an extended period of time and then you die.
Sure.
Or if, say, you had the hots for a real estate agent and you just quickly
you just keep buying properties.
Exactly. You quickly became very badly bankrupt and in millions of dollars of debt just because you
But you had
condos.
a lot of properties. You became like infatuated with a timeshare dealer, I suppose, in that situation.
The worst one is when you become infatuated with the Nigerian prince who sends you emails, so you just can't help but buy things from him.
You can't help but send him, like, Western Union money order. Oh, no. You're becoming infatuated with the lady who sells, your local multi-level marketing products.
Yes. That's 100%
you
happened.
sign up.
People
You sign
have
up to her
definitely bought into
downline.
pyramid schemes to get laid unsuccessfully in the past.
Well, I would say so. I would say that's probably the only reason someone would buy into a pyramid scheme. I just can't imagine any other reason why you would.
Do you think someone's ever bought into, has honey trapped someone into a pyramid scheme and then they've entered a voracious sexual relationship and then they've fallen madly in love, and then the original honey trapper has just felt so overwhelmed by guilt that they had to reveal the multi-level marketing scheme in all its manipulative glory to their poor victim?
No, because the multi-level marketing scheme, people would never reveal that. And they'd never admit it was a multi-level marketing scheme.
This is the plot of the most fucked rom-com ever, and I want to make it so badly. And that's the
But here's what we can make. We can make
Dark
it...
Night of the Soul, is they find out it's actually a multi-level marketing scheme.
Or we could change it around a little bit, and it's a bit of like a quirky movie, because one of them is trying to get the other one to join Scientology, and the other one's trying to get the other one to become a salesman for Nutramedics. So,
So, Alison, what's the happy ending here?
They become the most successful Nutramedics salespeople within the Church of Scientology.
And then they make out on the stage while Hillsong does musics. And it's
Why is Hillsong
absolutely
involved in
beautiful.
this?
Hillsong's
This is the
involved
Church of Scientology.
Alison, obviously
they're probably
every
involved
movie
in
we
everything.
make is going to have to be a hardcore Christian movie for funding purposes. So Hillsong's going to have to be involved in all of them.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Because we are going to get this up on PureFlix. That's the people who are going to sponsor this movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the
or-
lesson is that Scientology is bad and Hillsong and Nutramedics are good.
Or perhaps we'll start our own competing streaming service called Grand Prix. And
I feel like there's room in the market for like a Scientology streaming service.
exactly. And plus, I figure with a name like Grand Prix will lure people in who think it's like a pornography website, and then it'll actually
But then
turn
it's
out to be
Scientology.
Scientology propaganda. And that's
Yeah, that
how
would
we
be
get
really
them.
good. Scientology would like that if we did that on their behalf, I think.
I know, they're your
as
biggest
non-Scientologists, if we made this on their behalf, I'm sure they would love that and they wouldn't hate that at all.
The Scientologists haven't like started sending you like dead cats yet, have they? Like nothing real nasty.
No,
like,
but
you're not
I
on
mean,
their
I don't
radar?
know. I left the country for a reason, I suppose. You'd have
Oh,
to
that's
ask
fair.
my sister what's happening at home.
Yeah.
There might be some dead cats. There's a lot of living cats outside my house here, which isn't... I don't think Scientology is
No,
responsible
that
for
seems
that, though.
unrelated.
I would say so.
Do you have another story for me?
Yes, I do. In fact, this is one that I was going to use last week, but then I used a different story about a similar topic, and you've probably already known this story. But I do want to include it anyway.
Okay.
Because last week we were talking about delivery people pissing in pot plants.
Okay.
And this is also related to Ozpost. So I feel like this is...
Oh, this is going to
This
be
is-
my other story, but I haven't read it yet, so please go ahead.
You haven't read it yet?
Nope. I was just
Okay.
going to roll
Well,
the
I'm-
dice and see what happened.
I'm from news.com.au, and this is by Phoebe Looms, and it says, Postie leaves woman ridiculous note after throwing parcel onto roof. A woman was shocked to find a ridiculous note from a postie saying they accidentally threw a package on her roof. How does this happen, Chris?
Allison, he just really wanted to practice his spin bowl, okay? Not everybody has a choice. Some people have nervous tics where they throw things like frisbees. It's not their fault.
Again, the most amazing thing about this is that they've actually taken the package to her house, and that's pretty astounding on its own.
That's true.
But
It
I
got
just-
delivered, technically.
It was there. She
It's-
didn't have to go to the package facility to pick it up.
It's inside of the well, I mean, it's inside of the property in the sense of, like, it's on the lot. It's not inside of the house.
It's on the land. Yeah,
On it,
it's on the
yeah.
land. It's on
That's
the house.
good enough, I think.
Exactly. That's closer than a package from Ozpost has ever gotten to my house, I must say.
Plus, you only need a ladder to get it. You don't need to drive to the post office, so that's more fuel efficient. I like the idea that he saw a broom, but it was like just over the back fence, and he didn't want to intrude and let himself in because he thought he'd done too much
exactly.
damage already.
This story reminds me in like a thematic sense with the story of the woman who threw her poo out her date's window.
Oh yes,
Do you
I do
remember that story?
It was very nasty, but also wonderful.
Just in the sense that it's like, I just can't get in the headspace where you would throw your poo out the window. I also can't get in the headspace where you would throw a parcel on a roof when you're delivering it.
Well, okay, let me pitch the poo throwing out the window thing to you. So I know you don't really go on dates, but as someone who has gone on many a date, If I had, assuming the toilet is non-functional, I assume I've got three choices.
Yeah, that's what happened in that story.
I got three choices. I can either walk up to, like, tell my date that I have a poo in my hand and I need to dispose of it. I can throw the poo out the window, or I can put it in the garbage bin to leave for them to find as a little present later. Now,
Or you can just flush the toilet using water and a bucket.
if there is no bucket or water, then
You use a lot of glasses of water.
if only choices A, B, and C are available, can I suggest that C, the one where you leave it as a little future present, is actually optimal? Because the first two ensure that your date is going to end instantly, whereas the third one just ensures that you won't get a second date.
Yeah, the date can still continue.
You might still have a good time, whereas A and B, that shit is not going to happen and you're leaving.
And because you know that there's not going to be a second date, you can just really, really enjoy yourself and just say what you want.
I don't like that at all. So let me find
But
out.
then I mean, like, you could admit to liking The Big Bang Theory, for example, and, like, just test the waters. See what happens. Like, it's a social experiment now, you know.
Oh, okay. So you want to sort of try out potential techniques for not getting a second date, like saying that you like The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, seeing, like, how far your date is willing to push it as far as your bad taste goes.
So if, like, say, at the moment of orgasm, you shout "bazinga" very, very loudly, that's the kind of thing we're
It's like
talking
the
about?
worst thought I could ever think about. Yeah, like maybe that, if you wanted to do that. You could try that. Or you could say, "Please call me Sheldon" while we copulate, for example.
Please call me
Please
Sheldon
say
while we do
Sheldon
the quiz,
Cooper
please.
from the Big Bang Theory. Oh, I love you, Sheldon Cooper from the Big Bang Theory. That's what you want them to say.
With every thrust, you go, "Oh, I love The Big Bang Theory, my favorite TV show, available on Channel 10." And you just say
You
that.
have to sing the theme song. Can you walk into the room in lingerie singing the theme song to The Big Bang Theory, please?
I'm sure that there has been a dance on the show at some point. I haven't watched it. I wouldn't know.
I couldn't name a dance. But you could just be flossing.
That's
You could
true.
bring in a little bit of, like, youth culture into this as well.
So what if, say, let's continue with this hypothetical of the flossing application. If, say, you were in a sexual context and it was as such that the person could not see you, and they turn around to look at you just to sort of get, like, an intimate connection with the person that they're having this, like, romantic experience with, and you are flossing.
And then you are flossing, and then you, like, chuck a dab when you see that they're looking at you.
Again, every time the person comes, they dab, and it's just so...
It's the most disgusting thought I've ever had in my life.
No! Oh, Christ.
I don't even
Let me
I
find
don't even want to
another-
continue with it. The story's done. The story's done.
There's nothing more to
The
that.
parcel's
We've
on the roof. She got the
destroyed
parcel down using the mop, and we went well out of context there.
it. Yeah, but look, we've had a lot of pent-up dab sexual
For
energy
those people
in this
who
podcast
aren't
for
so-
months that
Yeah, we
needed
haven't mentioned
releasing.
dabbing for a while. But for those people who aren't familiar with the throwing the poo out the window story, please read that at some point in your own free time. That's your homework tonight.
Oh yeah, it's comfortable.
You can find it. She does climb into the window to retrieve the poo, which is stuck between two panes of glass. And it is a very bizarre circumstances, but that's for your own time. We've talked about this on here before.
So I would like to debut a new segment in which I don't have a name for it. Maybe I could call it "Kick It to the Curb." But the premise of this is I'm going to read Kickstarter proposals for interesting products and technologies.
Sure.
This first one is called Lab Fresh. Most advanced stain and odor repellent polo shirt.
Oh, why specifically a polo shirt?
It's an excellent question. I'm going to describe
What
the
is it about
promotional
polo
image to
shirt
you.
wearers?
It is a
Sure.
man. It's a man of what looks like Pakistani descent, wearing this drab grey polo shirt, buttoned all the way up to the top. And there is
Because
there
of
is
course it is.
a disembodied arm pouring red wine out of a wine glass onto it. And instead of soaking in, the wine glass is
Happens
splashing
all
off it
the
like it
time.
would a sheer surface.
That's very impressive.
That's very impressive, but just think about what the texture of this wine-repellent polo shirt must be like, because I can't imagine it's pleasant to the touch.
Like plastic wrap.
Yeah, it would feel like wearing plastic wrap, but it's on your nipples always. And it's just not an experience.
Well, I'm sure some people would be into that, into the experience of wearing plastic wrap on their body at all times. I'm not one of those people.
So this is made with a fabric called Pike or Peak. Peak is an amazing fabric. The Peak polo was invented in the 30s by French tennis champion René Lacoste and is one of the most breathable and luxurious fabric constructions. Through extensive research and prototyping, we have created a unique treatment mix called Freshcore TM.
Freshcore TM!
That's in bold, obviously.
Anything with core is very cool.
It makes me think of like horrorcore music or something like that, but I want freshcore, vegan core,
Freshcore.
music.
Vegan core sounds like a good genre.
Right? There's a video of someone pouring fluids onto this shirt, onto this freshcore shirt, and they're just splashing off as though this is like a plate of metal. And
Oh, God.
it's just not, I'm not okay with it at all.
That's not great. That's not a very nice sight.
It's loved by 30,000 plus men in 98 countries. So let me...
Is it though? Is it though?
Well, according to their ad copy, yes. I've got
Well, ad copy never lies. It's just basically illegal for ad copy to lie.
That's true. So this next one is called Tronex, all caps, Tronex, a new generation of flashlights.
Okay, what's so special about these flashlights?
I'll tell you in a sec, but I just want to point out that $47,000 has been pledged to this.
Oh, jeez.
Have you ever realized that a modern flashlight is always a compromise? Between the,
All the time. All the time.
Between the compact size of a pocket flashlight and the power of a search and rescue one. Between an easy-to-wear headlamp and a tactical far-distance one.
Gosh, I'm always thinking about that.
Between the battery capacity of a hiking lantern and the functionality of bike lights. Tronex is a combo of everything we need. Its light embraces the widest area possible. Nevertheless, it leaves your hands free. It can produce phenomenal 4,500 lumens in the turbo mode or work up to 24 hours with lower power consumption.
Did they invent some of these words?
Tronex will charge your smartphone on a picnic or will light up your way while cycling or skateboarding. I'm now going to describe what Tronex is to you.
Okay.
Tronex is a disc that you attach to your spine, and out of it is two wires with small flashlights attached to the end of them that you snake up over your shoulders. So it's a backpack, little backpack with two torches coming out that you wear like shoulder-mounted turrets.
To me, this reminds me a lot of like an anglerfish or something like that. That's the vision that I'm having thinking about this.
Yeah, except imagine that on someone wearing exclusively Kathmandu clothes. And also it has a very large, chunky plastic clip that attaches it to the front, just like a single strap with this big... I'm going to assume this means you can't wear a backpack, which in a hiking context seems bad.
Well, yeah, you kind of need a backpack when hiking. That's...
Exactly.
one of the main things.
But you are right. It is like an anglerfish. It gives you lit up antennae that just kind of stick out of you at all times.
You could like attach them to your shoulders, or you could like let them dangle from the shoulders like over the top and look very cool and attract some like smaller creatures that you're going to eat.
That's very true. I think the fun one to do would be to lower them and have them coming from like waist height so that no one can see where they're coming from. So I'm going to do one more, and
Okay.
it's bad.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with Juicero or the juice? It's kind of
Was
like
that's like the machine that you buy the like juice packets for, and then you put it in the machine, and then the machine like presses the juice packets, and then you have juice.
yeah, but you can do the
But
same
then
thing with a pair of scissors.
Well, it also, I think like Business Insider or something broke it down and realized that actually you can just squeeze the packets of juice with your hands and the juice would come out.
Yes, that's exactly right. This is very much in that vein.
Okay, great.
So, this is the Create Home Plus Body Care products to save money and planet. Shrink your budget and environmental footprint by mixing plant-based products in reusable bottles, all with the push of a button. This is the Soda Stream for cleaning products, called Cleanest with a Y. Cleanest is a revolutionary new system that lets you easily mix a complete range of natural cleaning and personal care products at the push of a button.
Or you could just get a spoon.
That is correct.
And a bucket.
Yes.
I don't know what this is offering that you can't do with a spoon and a bucket.
Counterpoint, Alison, you could pledge $47,000.
Oh my gosh. I just feel like, the thing with like tech startups and the entire like the tech world, the tech scene, is that I feel like there's a lot of things that are just completely unnecessary.
Yes.
We all talk shit about like, it's like the new, cool, trendy way of doing like infomercial products. But at least infomercial products I can see some use in most of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of these tech things, it's just kind of like, I don't even know who would buy this.
Since water is
a lot of people?
Since water is the main ingredient in most home and body care products, this makes them more expensive to package and ship, and it takes a huge toll on the environment. Why are we paying for water when we have it at home, and for oversized plastic bottles we throw away? Lots of companies offer you ways to make a handful of surface cleaners by diluting concentrates in reusable spray bottles. But what about the rest of your home and body care products, especially the thicker ones you pour and pump, like shampoo, conditioner, laundry detergent, and dish soap? Only Cleanest lets you mix all of these products and more using a wide range of concentrate types.
So does... I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think a bucket discriminates as to how thick the material that goes inside it is.
You and I are both talking a big game here. I don't know if I would mix shampoo in a bucket.
Well, I might.
You might, but you're
if it was my only option.
You're an expat at this point, so that's very on brand. It's just having bucket shampoo, where you just make.
I have been hand washing all my clothes.
You literally just get washing detergent and mix it with water, dunk your head in it, woomph, clean hair, wash that shit off, you're good.
No, because I'm washing my clothes, not my hair.
Well, how are you going to... Okay, but we need shampoo in a bucket.
Yeah, sure.
That's what these people do that your bucket solution doesn't do, Alison.
Oh, sure. Well, you could mix shampoo in a bucket, just a smaller bucket. That's the right shampoo size.
Can you imagine if it was like the ice bucket challenge, but it was the shampoo bucket challenge?
Oh no!
And it was
Everyone's
literally
eyes
full
are
of
just
like viscous shampoo, and it just slopped all over the people.
And like goes right into their eyes and into their ears.
And it just goes gloop, 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 gloop down their bodies.
Oh
and
no!
clothes.
I think you can tell how delirious we are at this point. I must throw that out there.
I think this is a good spot for us to finish.
Is there any more to this like machine? What is it actually?
Oh, it literally just looks like a soda stream, and it mixes the different goops at different viscosity levels inside plastic bottles, so it makes shampoo and it makes detergent, I guess. It seems like an
Okay, or you
enormous
could
waste
just
to me.
use the plastic bottles
Yeah, so
and mix the stuff in without the machine.
I'm not sure. I feel like you could do most of it, but I don't know if you could make the real goopy ones.
Okay.
So I think
Fair enough.
it's a good slime machine, but I don't know.
Yeah, and slime is very cool these days.
Yeah, slime is big on the Twitters and the Tumblrs. So
Slime is what all the kids are doing these days, and they're just trying to like reach out to that market.
when all the kids are playing their Fortnite, they are doing it just drenched in slime.
They are doing slime. They are absolutely. They're all on slime
They're doing so
when they're
much
playing
slime.
their Fortnites. Yeah, exactly.
Let's finish. Thank you for listening to the podcast that we make. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Red Menacecast, or find us on Facebook at the Red Menace Podcast. You can buy our merch, our sick merch,
boy.
at tpublic.com. Just search the Red Menace Podcast on it. You'll find it. You'll recognize it because it'll have two dipshits on it.
Absolutely. It'll have two grand pricks smiling
Two
back at
grand
you.
pricks. It's definitely the episode title. If you could, it would be really good if you could just recommend the show to your friends or share it on social media. We don't really pay to advertise at all. And we need money and fame and success. So if you could
Yeah, absolutely.
please tell people that you love us unconditionally and that they should listen to our funny things that
And
we
if
say
you don't,
sometimes.
if you don't love us, then practice your lying skills and say that you do. And then if they believe you and then they listen to us, you've done a fun prank on your friend. So
Exactly. And then your
Yeah.
friend will try
So
and bring
either
you
way,
into
it's a
the
win-win
fold,
for you.
And it's Pandora's Circle, baby.
Exactly. Pass on the fun prank to your friends, and then they'll prank their friends by pretending they like our show as well.
We've done 49 episodes. That's too fucking many.
That's a lot of episodes.
50 next week. Jesus. Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We will indeed. Hey, that means we've almost been doing this for a year, hey.
I'm keenly aware of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a realization.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, everybody. Good luck and good night.
Farewell.